Come and have a seat on the table of chat. What's your name?
Callum.
Callum, welcome. We have literally just started this second, so we don't have the whole point of Talkaoke is it's kind of up to you to decide what you want to talk about. Can be absolutely anything. We don't have a subject yet because you're our first people. Anybody got an idea what we should talk about? Anything?
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs?
Yeah.
What do you want to say about dinosaurs?
Because they weren't alive anymore.
Okay, they're not around anymore. How did the dinosaurs die out? I can see a few suggestions as how those aging dinosaurs might have breathed their final breath here at this festival. Do we want to talk about dinosaurs? Any other counter suggestions? Callum, have you got anything?
I don't really mind, to be honest.
Are you interested in dinosaurs?
Yeah, sure.
What happened to the dinosaurs?
Big asteroid comes, hits Earth, dinosaurs dead.
Okay.
Sad.
Okay.
There's still one more dinosaur in the world.
Yeah. What kind of dinosaur?
It's like a fish dinosaur.
A fish dinosaur. So a fish dinosaur. Is that because they were under the sea? They didn't get hit by the asteroid?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also birds.
Birds? What do you mean birds?
Because they were here when dinosaurs were around and
Okay,
they're still
so
here.
do birds kind of somehow know about dinosaurs then?
I don't know.
Okay, so birds were around. Have they got some relationship to dinosaurs? Donna, have you got any feeling about dinosaurs?
Not really.
No?
No.
I mean, oops, sorry about that. Why is it? Because there is an interest in dinosaurs from the young people. Why are young people so interested in dinosaurs?
I reckon they just introduce it at school, don't they?
Yeah. But I mean, there's lots of things like, algebra and stuff like that that are introduced at school that kids are not as interested in. Callum, what do you think it is?
Well, they see dinosaurs, these big, cool monsters.
Yeah.
Big, vicious.
So it's about the
scary and intimidating.
the size of them, and they're somewhat intimidating as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's large. Is it because they're big?
Why do you like dinosaurs?
Why do you like dinosaurs?
Because they're cool and
Yeah.
they're very vicious.
They're cool. You mean they're cold-blooded? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you like dinosaurs? Not really. Why?
Yeah, because that's my mum.
Okay. Do you have arguments about dinosaurs? Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We have got Callum, we've got Donna, we have got Tabby, and we've got, what was it again? Molly.
Molly.
And we've got Zinni, is that right? And what's your name?
Ruby.
And
Lisa.
Lisa, we're talking about dinosaurs. There seems to be, Zinni really likes dinosaurs. You don't particularly like dinosaurs. Why don't you like dinosaurs?
Too big.
Too big. Okay, so it's the same reason that the kids like them. They're too big. What happens? What did you like dinosaurs when you were younger?
Probably.
Yeah. So
Can't remember that far.
What's happened? Why do we sort of lose the liking of dinosaurs?
I think they probably eat people. I
Right.
guess.
Okay.
I think it's about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It splits opinion. Either people
Right.
are into it or they're not.
Okay. Who here has seen
Stephen
Jurassic
King.
Park? Okay. I mean, what?
I have.
When? I think it's a bit scary for you.
Okay. Do you know what Jurassic Park's about?
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, that's right, yes. So, can you just explain what happens for those that haven't seen it? Can you explain what happens in Jurassic Park?
It's like a facility where they've got loads of dinosaurs and then they turn it into like a
Yeah.
Legoland type thing where they can come and have a look at these dinosaurs and be like, wow,
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
Have you been to Legoland?
Yeah. I
Okay.
went, last year, I think.
Was that scary?
No, not really.
Could it do with a few dinosaurs?
Maybe. Depends which part you're in.
Okay, I mean, do you think it will ever happen? Will science ever be able to recreate the dinosaurs?
No.
No? Why?
I don't know why, but I don't think they'll ever
Yeah.
come back.
No?
No. Maybe they will be able to, but
Yeah.
why would they?
Why? I don't know. What do other people think? Is it worth doing like Jurassic Park and recreating the dinosaurs? Think it's a good idea?
They'd take over. They're destroyers, I think.
Would they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be like the film.
If you trained them, maybe they wouldn't.
Okay, you could train them. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's about like there being a completely different world, but it was real. You know, it's a bit like our sort of mythology
Yeah.
stuff. We've built up a load of like stories, like dragons and all of that. It's all based on this like other world that's so long ago that we don't really know what it is, but we know enough about it to know it's real.
So it's like the distant past where monsters dwelt.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
like taps into people's imaginations, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Is it about that feeling about the distant past? Will it ever? Are you interested in dinosaurs? No. Why? Don't know. Okay.
He might be, look.
Are you interested in dinosaurs? No. Maybe it's got too distant now. It's too much in the past. Do you agree with this distant past theory, Callum?
Well, it does. I remember in reception, you get taught about it,
Yeah.
and they just like bring it up as much as possible, and like they try to tell you all these cool things about them to make you think, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I think that starts it as a young age, but then over time you start to forget about like the stuff, because you learn it at such an early age, so then you kind of just forget about it, and then.
So you learn it too early. Maybe that's why Lisa doesn't really like dinosaurs anymore, because it was too long ago. It was the distant past. Okay, we're talking about the distant past here.
So why do you think schools like dinosaurs so much? Like why do teachers go for the dinosaur thing for young kids?
Because it's engaging.
Yeah.
I work in a school, so it's a subject that, especially boys, get them really engaged.
Yeah.
It's a good topic
Yeah.
to get. You know, if boys are interested in the topic, they'll, to get them to write and things, because boys are a little bit harder to get to when they're young.
To
get them
persuade.
to write and things like that.
So if you start talking about dinosaurs, they get a bit more interested.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that sparks the imagination?
Well, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Depends.
I mean, is it like a sort of almost like a kind of school propaganda sort of thing where, like, dinosaurs, come on, this is what school's about, it's about dinosaurs, and then, wham, you hit them with the maths. Is that how it works?
We don't do dinosaurs in our school.
No?
We've never taught about dinosaurs.
What do you teach?
Well, you have a curriculum, and then you choose the subjects. So it's up to you, really.
Yeah.
But anything can be related to anything. So you can pretty much.
Yeah.
Because it's history, isn't it? Science, skeletons.
Yeah.
It's a wide-ranging topic.
So
Fossils, geography. The dinosaurs cover many areas of the curriculum.
Okay, so dinosaurs are good because you can get... Dinosaurs are used as a tool to get kids interested in school. It's basically what we're saying.
Yeah.
And they get sucked in by the dinosaurs and bang, suddenly they're accidentally doing science and maths and writing and didn't even realise. Where are we going to go with this conversation? We've got a new face. What's your name?
Finley.
Finley. We've got Callum. We've got Donna. We have got Tabby. We've got Molly. We've got Zinni. We've got Lisa. We've got Ruby. And Mikey.
Most of my family's on this table. This is my mum, my cousin, my sister, my other cousin,
Okay.
and my auntie.
Just help us out here. What are the big conversations in your family? Is it about dinosaurs? Do you talk about dinosaurs?
What do we talk about?
Dinosaurs? No.
What do they talk about?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Do you?
Oh, Tilly, cats.
Cats?
We talk about cats.
All right. Are cats descended from dinosaurs?
No, but chickens are.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 4 chickens in my garden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got them 2 years ago. Yeah, they're a bit mad.
Okay. Does that mean that if dinosaurs, chickens are descended from dinosaurs, do dinosaurs taste like chicken?
We will never know.
We will never know.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we will.
Maybe
Okay.
we will.
Oh,
This is
controversial.
what we were talking about. Would dinosaurs ever be brought back, Finley?
Well,
Maybe as a kind of for domesticated farming.
Would you eat dinosaur meat if they did bring dinosaurs back?
I don't know. I'm going to turn the mirror on you. Would you?
No,
No.
don't think so.
Okay.
But like, people would be into eating chicken, but would they eat dinosaur?
Who here would eat a dinosaur? Let's have a show of hands. Wow. So, but then you're worried about a dinosaur eating you. Isn't that a little bit hypocritical? I don't know. Yeah.
I think it would be personally a terrible idea to bring dinosaurs back, because then
Yeah.
we're no longer at the top of the food chain.
Okay, so they would replace us. So rather than us farming them, they would farm us.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to say, people eat crocodile, and people say that crocodile tastes like chicken.
Right.
So maybe dinosaurs might,
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, why are you bringing up the crocodile?
because they are descendants
Don't
from the
get snappy with me.
dinosaurs.
Sorry.
They're the closest thing to a dinosaur, aren't
Right.
they?
Okay. I
That's
thought it was a
still
chicken.
alive.
I thought it was a chicken. Is it a crocodile?
No, it's a chicken.
Okay. So
Why
chicken.
is a chicken a descendant of a dinosaur?
Well, if you think about it, a T-Rex has 2 legs and was covered in feathers. So a chicken has 2 legs, it's covered in feathers.
Hang on a sec. You're saying that T-Rex was covered in feathers?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, that's not how it played out in Jurassic Park, is it?
No, but it was recently that they found out a T-Rex was covered in feathers.
How did they find that out?
I don't know.
Okay, does anyone
It
know?
Oh yeah.
It might.
Yeah.
It
What's
might-
that?
Science.
Science. Okay.
Yeah.
But what was the science actually?
No clue.
Did they find something?
Yeah.
They found something, I think.
Yeah.
or-
A T-Rex feather. Do you know the answer?
No.
Oh, come and sit down. Come and sit down. Come and get involved.
We've got to go to slime.
Slime.
Sorry.
Okay. So you're going back to the primordial slime. Okay, hang on. I need some sense of closure. I need a final thought.
I've been to a museum
Yeah.
where the robot, where there's 2 dinosaurs and I saw a T-Rex.
Were they covered in feathers?
No, but it was a robot.
Okay.
We will come back.
Okay. We'll see if the conversation goes anywhere. Enjoy the slime.
I think that personally,
Yeah.
that they found out T-Rexes having feathers was tiny holes in their skulls and stuff.
Okay,
for the
so
feathers
they had
to
little-
grow into.
Did you know that T-Rex was covered in feathers like a chicken? That is. What's your name again?
Finley.
That's what Finley's telling us. That T-Rex was more like a chicken than a crocodile. And apparently they know that because when you look very, very closely at the T-Rex skull, you can see tiny little holes where the feathers kind of resided. You're sceptical, Donna.
No, I'm just amazed that Finley knew that.
I
Okay.
don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, you just made
I
it
just
up.
assumed
Yeah.
that
Okay.
that's what it would be.
I mean, there is a conjecture that dinosaurs had feathers. They don't have them anymore, but I mean, there must be some way they found out.
When you look at a chicken,
Yeah.
it kind of does resemble a T-Rex in a way.
Does it?
Yeah, with its
Yeah.
2 legs,
Yeah.
its body shape, its
Yeah.
feathers.
2 big legs. Okay, we've got some new faces at the table. What's your name?
Mayan.
And
Jordan.
what's it?
Jordan.
Yorden. And what's your name? Come closer.
I'm Tal.
Tal.
Yes.
We've got Ruby, we've got Donna, we've got Finley, we've got Callum. Come and sit down, come and join in. We're talking about dinosaurs at the moment. Do you believe in dinosaurs?
Yes.
Do you want to bring them back?
Yes.
Okay. Would you eat a dinosaur?
No.
Okay. Do you want dinosaurs to come back?
Yeah.
Would you eat a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Okay. You're up to speed on the conversation now. Did you know that dinosaurs had feathers?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we're taking it from Finley's but Finley has admitted he doesn't really know how we know that or what,
I think there's dinosaurs with feathers.
There are dinosaurs, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Tal, have you got any views on this? Did T-Rex, was it like a giant chicken? Do you believe in what Finley's saying?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Possibly, you're open-minded on this one, yeah?
I know how we can settle this conversation.
Yeah.
Google.
Google, okay.
There's no service out here.
What's that?
There's no service out here, pretty much.
Okay, I mean,
Oh.
is that how science of the future is going to work? It's just going to be like, did dinosaurs have feathers or not? Let's just Google it.
Totally.
Is that going to be the future of science?
Well, I
For
mean,
me,
Yeah?
it works for me. So
Okay, well, look, we can Google it and find out.
when scientists figure something,
Yeah.
it gets sent to whatever, and then it gets put on Google. So
Yeah.
But not everything you read on the internet, which I tell you all the time, is true.
Okay, so, do you believe Google? And should we Google whether dinosaurs had feathers?
Some of them.
if it was the real.
Did dinosaurs have feathers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're Googling it.
Yeah.
Since scientific research began on dinosaurs in the early 1800s, they were generally believed to be closely related to modern reptiles such as lizards. The word dinosaur itself, coined in 1842 by paleontologist Richard Owen, comes from the Greek for fearsome lizard. It doesn't say much about feathers though, and that is what I googled.
There you go.
And by the mid-1990s, significant evidence had emerged that dinosaurs were much more closely related to birds. This is Wikipedia, which descended directly from the theropod group of dinosaurs. But it doesn't say, understanding the origin of feathers developed both as new fossils were discovered throughout the 2000s and as technology has enabled scientists to study fossils more closely.
There you go.
Okay, well there we are. Do we believe that? We've got some new faces at the table. We're talking about whether dinosaurs had feathers. We have got Ruby, we've got Tao, we've got Borden and Mayan, that's right, and Donna and Finley and Callum, what's your name?
Toby.
And
Ben.
Ben, welcome. Come and sit down, come and get involved in this. We're talking about dinosaurs. There's no age limit here. So come and have a seat on the table of the chat. We're talking about how do we know that dinosaurs, and will science of the future just be Googling stuff? Or just Google it and then find stuff out like that? Is that what you're a teacher, is that what school of the future is going to be like? Just Googling stuff? Someone comes up with a question and you just Google it?
I hope not. I'm in primary school, I work early years, so I'm like literally 4, 5 and 6 year olds.
Yeah.
And we have an iPad available for them.
And do they Google stuff?
Only, we say like if they found a ladybird and outside and we'd say, can you find us a fact about a ladybird? Then they would probably go and he'll
and Google
or they find a bug and they don't know what it's called, we would go say research it, see if you can find out what it's called.
Okay, so Google is coming into the classroom. There's an iPad there. We've got a new face at the table. What's your name?
Hello, I'm Tom.
Tom. We have got Ben, we've got Toby, we've got Callum, we've got Finley, we've got Donna, we've got Mayan, we've got Yoden, and we've got Tao and Ruby, and my name's Mikey, I think. Callum?
In my school, everyone has iPads, and when we're doing stuff, we're allowed to Google and research whatever we need to do, as long as it's with school.
So it'd be completely legitimate to Google whether dinosaurs had feathers or not?
Yeah, so
and how do they know?
History or science lesson, we would Google that, and then if we're not really sure, we'd probably ask our teacher, and then if he doesn't know, we'll go to a textbook.
So the teacher kind of just interprets Google for you? Yeah,
we kind of use Google, check it, and then check it with the textbook, and then
Okay, so Google is used. It's going into the classrooms. What do people feel about that? Google in the classrooms. Do you Google stuff in your school, Ryan?
You Google like animals, like if we're learning about little bugs or animals, we Google it, and then we do lots of stuff about them, like putting lots of facts around the animal. Okay,
so we're talking about the use of Google in the classroom. Anything on this side? Tom, we've got another couple of faces. What's your name?
Amelia.
And
Matt.
Matt, we started talking about dinosaurs and whether apparently dinosaurs are actually like chickens, more like chickens than crocodiles. We found out from Finley, but we Googled it basically. And that's education of the future. That's how it's going to work. People just Google stuff. I guess you need to come up with a question, don't you? Like, whatever. But that's what it's going to be like. I mean, are people? Is it a good way to learn? We've got a teacher here, Donna, that uses an iPad. Is it?
I mean, like I say, it's early years, so we only use one, and it's just for them to be able to research something that they choose to do. It's not. And that's it. But I think the way technology is now, I think it's important that kids get to learn how to use these sort of things, because it's just everywhere.
Okay. All right, Ruby?
I reckon you need to be careful to like make sure Google is like a starting point, but you've got to like fact check it properly. It's not really
what
thorough
do you mean,
enough.
Fact check?
Well, because you can put anything up on the internet, can't you? And if it's got enough, search engines are quite clever. They'll just like feed you stuff that you believe already. So it's not like
What you
it
mean?
shouldn't be seen as like good research. Maybe when you're like 6 or something, you can like Google about a ladybird.
So do you think when Donna Googles the thing about the dinosaurs, she'll get something saying it's closer to a crocodile, but when Finley Googles it, he'll get something saying it's closer to a chicken?
Well, probably not, but someone who was like not into evolution or something would be more likely to come up with some like anti-dinosaur or like,
so there are people out there anti-dinosaurs. What's your name again? Sorry, I forgot. Matt. What's your view on this?
I think one of the problems is that often you can Google the answer, and skip the path. So
what do you mean the path?
You might have an assignment from school, or like find this out, and rather than go and research and learn about it and form your own opinions, you can just skip directly to what someone else has already written.
Okay, so it's a bit of a shortcut, is what you're saying?
It can massively be.
Of the path, okay. Is it? But doesn't that just mean you move forward and you get further?
I don't think so. So it helps you have a quick fix. Helps you, like get a job done. Like especially in my line of work.
What is your line of work?
So I'm a programmer.
Right.
So actually for Google.
Oh really?
I can find an answer quickly, but I won't learn anything on the way. I'll just find a solution, move on.
Okay.
I won't retain that. It won't be something that'll keep with me.
Okay, so you just kind of forget it because you just Googled it. By tomorrow we'll all forgotten about the Google and the chickens and all of that stuff. The Googling it will just pass into insignificance. Finley.
What's weird with Google is that, for example, you go on Google and say that your skin's feeling a bit itchy, so you buy some itching cream, itch it, but then suddenly you go on
cream.
and then suddenly you go on something like YouTube, and then suddenly you get an advertisement for itching cream.
Right.
So it keeps and stores your information.
Right. Okay.
For other things.
Okay, so if you've got an itchy arm, Google will suddenly put up ads for itch, or YouTube will. I don't know how it works. Maybe you know how it works, because you work for Google. Do you find that a bit weird, or is that good?
I think it's somewhere in the middle, because I mean it would be good so that Google learns what you want and what you need.
And it gives you some options via its sponsors.
Well, I saw this video of someone who was just kept on saying pram next to their iPhone when it had Google open, and like a day later all their advertisements on Google were from prams. So it does,
prams?
Yeah.
Okay.
After he'd been saying pram next to his phone.
Is that a problem, or is that kind of useful?
It's a mix, really, because it's kind of disturbing that Google's listening to you.
Right.
But then on the other hand, it can be quite useful.
Okay. Let's ask the man Matt works for Google. Does Google listen to you?
Yes. No, it shouldn't do. I think recently it has admitted that it has done some listening.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay.
I've got to ask though, does like the SEO traffic that goes through an area.
The what traffic?
Like search engines. So when like somebody Googles something,
yeah.
If someone's clicking a link, basically,
yeah.
The more traffic that goes through it, the more popular it pops up. That's like a very succinct way of trying to say it. But
yeah.
The more that someone searches, does that impact the advertisement that Google puts out, or is it purely on a personal basis? Does that make sense?
Now, I bet Matt wished he never mentioned that he works for Google, because now he's getting asked, how does it all work? How does it all work? Is it disturbing, or is it kind of like just a service that works very, very well? Let me get a final thought from you, Tom.
I think that learning to search for things is a really important skill.
Right.
Because there's lots and lots of information out there on the internet.
Yeah.
And although that people can go and just find answers, there are an awful lot more answers out there to find than we would ever been previously available to other generations.
So searching is actually a skill. It's not just
developing the ability to search well and discern like factual results from maybe less well-verified sources is a really important skill.
Okay. Can you give us an example?
Take, for example, the biography of a famous person.
Yeah.
If you wanted to find out about the life of a famous person, then there are places you could go. and say Wikipedia, or you could go to other areas of the internet, which might be message boards. Now, is a message board more likely to contain a factual account of someone's life or Wikipedia?
Okay. Well, that's a question we can put to the table. Is searching a skill? Should it be a subject at school? How to search? I'm going to come to you in a second, Ruby.
Yeah, definitely. I think it kind of democratizes information in that way. You don't have to be like part of a university or have a library membership or access to stuff.
The information
you can just Google
is out
it,
there.
Yeah. And if you know how to do that well, then you're set, aren't you?
Okay, should there be classes in Googling? That's what we're talking about now. Googling is the education of the future, but it's not just about simply typing something into a search engine. You have to be skilled at searching. Matt's leaving because he works for Google and it's getting a bit too close to the bone. Have you got final thoughts?
Search away.
Okay, final thought? Initial thought? No? Okay, we've got some spare seats over here, but we're talking about Google classes and what would a Google class do?
I think the internet, everything, it's all brilliant, but it has to be balanced. So I also think that with children especially, reading and just reading books, not just being on a screen and things like that.
Right.
Because I think reading an actual book is just dying.
Yeah.
The art of it is dying.
Should there be a book version of Google? Yeah.
Pretty big.
Yeah, but it would be very big.
Huge, a huge book. I've got a new face at the table. What's your name? Hunter. We've got Tom, we've got Toby, and we've got Callum, we've got Finley, we've got Donna, we have got Mayan, we have got Jordan, Tao, and Will. Oh, we didn't get your name. We didn't get your name. What's your name?
Will.
Will. Okay. That's just a formality, you know. And we've got Ruby. So we're talking about Googling classes. Are we just going too much on screen? Should there be more paper? Should there be a paper version of Google? How big would it be? These are some of the questions we've got on the table. Hunter, any views on this side?
No.
No? Okay. Are you a user of Google?
No, I prefer to use, services that aren't backed by companies that just dress up people, but
Yeah. So what? Do you use a different search engine?
Ecosia.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
I use Ecosia because I think it's for every 45 searches they plant a tree, which is just good for the environment and good all around.
What's the difference between Ecosia and Google?
One of them's a lot more eco-friendly and will plant trees the more you search.
Yeah.
And Google doesn't really do much to help. They're just they'll give you the answer and that's it. Whereas Ecosia will help the world and help you at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay then, so Google uses a tag system, so that it goes through the web page, uses, I don't know, I think it's a deep learning algorithm to actually using some natural language processing stuff to actually turn a web page into a set of tags, and then of course you search for something, it does something about the search terms and you get tags. So yeah.
But what's bad with that? About that?
Oh, I'm just saying.
Okay, that's how it works. You're explaining how it works. Okay, so we're talking about search engines. It's a weird thing to be talking about. Could there be a paper version of either Ecosia or Google? Other search engines are available. And how do we deal with this in this age of information? The information is now there. It's not hidden, as Ruby was saying. It's kind of out there. It's just about navigating your way through all of this information. We've got a couple of new faces to the table. What's your name?
Reese.
And?
Lila.
Okay, so we're talking about Googling. Is Googling going to be the education of the future? Do we need to learn how to Google or Ecosia or search with other search engines better so we don't just accept whatever comes up? Do we trust these companies? And that's really what we're talking about right now. Finley?
I use a search engine called DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
What it does is it searches things for you. It's good, but what happens is after you've done your searching, you can clear all your tabs and data.
Yeah.
So unlike Google, which stores all your information, this doesn't.
Why do you not want your information stored?
Because then Google has that information about you.
Okay. Is that bad?
Is that also?
Yeah.
Is that anything to do with so that I can't see what you're going on? I didn't know you go on What is it?
DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo.
Okay, so we're talking about search engines, and we've got 3 now: Ecosia, DuckDuckGo, and Google. But do we actually need some? This is one of the questions that came up, and no one's really answered it. Tom brought it up that we actually need some training in how to use these things, or do people just work it out as they go along and just get better at it just from practice?
The person who made the iPhone didn't even let their kids use it.
The person who made the iPhone didn't let their kids use it. What are you saying? That it's a dangerous tool?
Yeah.
Okay, not for kids. Okay. So the guy that invented the iPhone.
I mean, that's a trend. That's a trend amongst a lot of Silicon Valley executive families. They don't let their children use tablets.
Right.
Because they deemed that social media is too damaging for young people.
Okay. Is it so they don't Google themselves or Google their parents?
They won't let their children use any kind of social media like YouTube or any of the stuff that you would often find kids using. They deem it just too damaging, and it's true. It can have a detrimental effect on kids unless it's very closely managed.
Okay.
So, it's interesting to see that.
Okay, so now another big subject is this detrimental. Hang on a sec, let me just come to Mayan.
Google, I think, is very dangerous for kids. Like, if some things are, like, you can get really stuck on something. Like, if you go on something and you don't know if to open it or not, don't open it, ask your parents, because you might get some
so there could be some dodgy stuff there. Okay. There's a point here from you, Will. I know you've been waiting a while.
I can't remember what the other ones were, but I think it's a good point about social media, but you can't really avoid it nowadays. So would the parents be willing to let their young people have classes in school on social media and how to use social media, opposed to just trying to get rid of it altogether?
So in a way, it's the same as the Googling class. Do we need social media
it out
classes?
to like Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that.
Okay. Do we actually need classes in how to use Facebook? And why don't all these Silicon Valley parents just give classes in social media?
I think with Facebook and things like that, there are so many children on Facebook that aren't old enough to be on there.
Right.
I know. I mean, obviously my children don't have anything like that. But
as far as you know.
I know. Well, no. But I know children that are on there. It's 13 is the age limit, I think.
Yeah.
But I know kids that are on there that are way younger, and I just think it's wrong. It's just why.
I mean, do these kids need a bit of training in how to use it?
Well, I don't think it should be promoted in schools.
Right.
I think
it should be
maybe the searching on the internet and things like that, you can restrict it and things, for children, but to promote Facebook or social media or anything like that, I know it's there in the world, but I don't think it's something that I want to encourage.
Okay, so it shouldn't be encouraged, it shouldn't be mentioned. Callum?
Bringing up on what he said, whenever I go on Google, I put on my VPN, because a few days ago...
You put on your what?
VPN.
What is a VPN?
Pretty much it's a virtual private network.
Yeah.
It pretty much makes Google think that you can be wherever, so I always say I'm in Turkey when I'm really just in the middle of the leagues.
Why do you say you're in Turkey?
Because I just pick any random country so that...
Right. Okay, but why do you do this exactly?
Because it protects me. Because actually, a few days ago, I got a pop-up on my phone saying, "Oh, your SIM card is damaged by being on this website. You can stop this by clicking the link."
Right. Okay.
And then it's got. I close the thing and it comes up with an old picture of the Google logo.
Do you think kids need training in this to be a bit more wary of all of these things that come up?
These pop-up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pop-up things. Kids are just like, oh no, I need to fix this, otherwise mum and dad will be mad.
We got Finley and Donna that seem to be leaving, so give us a final thought.
New subject. Why are 6-year-olds playing Fortnite, which is for 12s and above?
Okay, all right, okay. Well, if you want to have that new subject, you've got to feed it in for us, because otherwise it's what we call a hit and run. You're not actually telling us what your view is on it or anything.
Okay. I think that.
Okay, well, in a minute. Let's just find out. Get a final thought from Donna.
The internet is an absolutely brilliant tool as long as it's managed correctly, especially.
And who's going to manage it?
Well, as a parent, you hopefully are aware of what your children are doing on the internet, and you can, keep an eye on them. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so it's a place to be managed. We've got some views on this side. Thanks very much. You're going to stay in and promote this Fortnite thing. Where do we want to go?
No, we don't promote.
No, I mean promote the Fortnite argument that we want that is. We don't want kids playing Fortnite. I don't know what is wrong with Fortnite. Well, yeah.
The fact that it's ridiculously addictive.
Right.
Once you play it, you just keep on playing it, and the children from like 6, 5 are playing it.
I mean, yesterday we heard that there was a child that had to go to hospital because he didn't go to the toilet because he was too busy playing. I don't know what the computer game was in that case, but Reese.
And there's Fortnite people, when they play, if they lose it, sometimes people break the controller.
Okay, so you can get angry as well. Do we need more protection, more kind of training about this? Hunter, what are you saying?
I'm saying that the Fortnite thing is just a case of bad parenting.
You think? Yeah? So it's totally down to the parents to stop their kids from playing Fortnite. Jordan, Mayan, are you off now? You've got a final thought?
I think they shouldn't, the parents should not let them use the computer only for important things or homework. They shouldn't let them do games.
So homework first, games second. Final thought, Tal?
I love the tema, and this is what you think. No, but I think internet is a great tool, like Donna said, that you just need to handle it right.
Okay, it's a powerful tool that needs to be handled right. Okay.
To say also, what do you want to say? We'll think about it.
I'll come back to you in a minute. We got some spare seats. We're talking about the internet. We're talking about social media. We're talking about games. Come and get involved in this. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. Should there be actually lessons in school about how to handle social media, how to search on Google, how to do Ecosia, whatever that is, or DuckDuckGo? What are you saying? I'm doing a good job, or are you saying that? Yeah, I'm alright. You're not in the middle. I'm in the middle. Anyway, we got a new face to the table. What's your name?
Nick.
Nick. We have got Ruby, Layla, Hunter, Reese. We got Tom, we got Ben, we got Toby, we got Callum. I'm Mikey. Mate, we're talking about social media, and we're talking about. Is it that? Come and get involved in this. You look like you're interested. That is a face of an interested person that wants to participate. What's your name?
Rob.
Rob. Yeah. I mean, do we need to give the kids some classes in it?
I don't know why, but it makes sense because it's. Yeah, simply yes.
And what would the classes be? How are you going to train kids? And what do you need to get across to them?
Give me 5 minutes.
Okay, well, there's plenty of time. Have you got a view on this?
Yeah. So I'm a bit of a slow burner as well, but I think that.
Well, I'll let you do some thinking and come back because we've got some new faces. What's your name?
John Paul.
And
Mark.
Mark. Well, at the moment we're talking about. Do we need to actually train kids up? Do they need some kind of training, some kind of education, either in search engines?
The search engines would they need to be led by example? Rather than us coming to them, maybe they got all the technology, they got all the powers. Maybe they should be sort of setting themselves up for school education.
Okay, so they should be more educationally focused. Some of these search. We had a guy that worked for Google earlier on, but he ran away as soon as we started talking about this. But maybe he'll be back. Reese, you got a point?
My dad hates YouTube and all that stuff.
Why?
Because he thinks my brain's getting damaged by it.
Okay, is it getting damaged by it?
No.
Okay.
I'm his dad.
Okay. So you're saying his brain's getting damaged by it? How?
I just think this is too narrow a margin. I feel like this whole thing is just being patted down to a single kind of a divide and conquer kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's enough emphasis, via the TV, giving children a broader scope on things.
Right.
We need a broader scope on more growing food.
Yeah.
Schools should be growing food. They should be understanding the fundamentals before we start wading in with all this high tech.
But can't you look on YouTube about how to grow food? Isn't there videos about
I'm too busy watching.
What's that?
Not when the world ends. There won't be any Google. There won't be electricity.
Okay, so when the world ends, we're going to be stuck. We're going to be like we won't be able to search our phones because there won't be any electricity. And
we need to learn how to grow food.
Yeah.
Start again.
But before the world ends, can we learn that on YouTube?
Probably.
Okay, so it's about getting the YouTube in before the world ends. What's going on over here? What are you talking about?
He said he was the second best at maths, and he said his dad said that maths damages his brain, and I said, yep, it damages my brain too.
Okay, so your brains have not been damaged by YouTube, they've been damaged by doing too much maths. That's interesting. Okay, what damages the brain? What stimulates the brain? Lila, have you got any views on this? No? Okay.
Well, I think it's Nick, who said YouTube is damaging his son's brain, but I disagree with that because there are some channels on YouTube which make like interesting sciencey videos, including like the Vsauce, a group of people who.
So YouTube's actually a learning resource. Okay, so
I think YouTube's a fantastic resource, but like every fantastic resource humans have created, we've abused it, we've ruined it. So YouTube is fantastic. So I love cycling, and I didn't know how to change a brake until I watched YouTube.
Right.
And I thought it's fantastic. So it's 10% good and 90% not so good. Sort of just going back to the Google search thing, sorry, it took my brain a bit to work. I think when you look up something in Google, Google should tell you, go and ask your mum and dad, and if they don't know, then come back. So it should encourage conversation.
Right, so Google should say, instead of coming up with a list of answers, Google should actually say, go and ask your mum and dad. And it should go and ask somebody. It should say that. It should say, I'm not going to give you the information until you've asked your parents or you've asked your neighbours or something like that, and then come back if you're still stuck.
This data shouldn't be a thing because it should be like there should be no data. It should be always data, and you don't have to pay for data.
Okay, so data should be free. Data should be.
Yeah, because if you spend all of your data and you're really poor, you can't do anything about it, and then you can't ring anybody.
Okay, so data is a right for people. Is essentially what you're saying. Data is a right for people.
Is that right in some countries where it's all free? The internet is free. Is that right?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just. I don't come up with. But maybe we could Google it and we'll find out.
I can imagine it's cheaper in Asia and Thailand and China and. It's got to be cheaper, isn't it? Because they are on the button, aren't they?
I mean, Mark, do you think that data should be free? I mean, Reese is saying that data should be a kind of right. It's not something that we should be paying for, but actually it's a right. We've got a right to access this data.
I'm not really sure about that, to be honest.
Okay, let me get a final thought from Tom before you go.
Yes, YouTube. YouTube have
grab the mic because you're very tall.
YouTube have a very interesting way. The thing about YouTube is a great learning resource. However, it is a business, so they need to make sure that they can make money out of you. To make money out of you, they need to keep you on the site so that they can show you adverts. So, to do that, they've started promoting more longer videos. The way that YouTube's algorithm work is they promote longer videos.
Right.
Also, they find they get more engagement from more extremist content.
Right.
So, the way that their suggestion engine works, where the next video queue up will be a slightly more extreme version of what you watched before.
Okay, that might be why we only get 12 hits.
Exactly. So you need to put in a few more.
Okay, well, I need you guys. I need some help here. Yeah.
How do WhatsApp make any money?
How do they actually make money? These people? They don't.
WhatsApp aren't a profit-making company yet. WhatsApp are owned by Facebook. Now, Facebook have obviously got a real interest in keeping hold of all that data because they know that, like, they've got your whole data kind of network there. They've not got any competitors building up what they call a shadow profile of you. A shadow profile is basically all the information they know about you, but haven't directly used to show to you. So, like, when you sign up for Facebook, it might say import your find your friends from your phone and say and you then asks to get access to your phone book. If you do that, then what it'll do, it'll go through all your phone book entries, pull them all out, and store them in a shadow profile. And those people might not be on Facebook.
Right. Okay, so it's about gathering. It's about
a company that does social media.
Okay, so you get okay. So we're talking about internet paranoia. They're stalling all our details. They're finding out lots of information about us. But do we? Yeah.
I mean, for instance, if you do when you're on your phone. And you can be sat there at night, you'll be talking to the missus and you'll say, oh, we should get a tent this weekend.
Yeah.
Before you know it, next time you go on your phone, and there'll be advertisements for tents everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, why is that? Like, is that Surrey? Is it?
Okay, what's going on there? I mean, things can.
Oh, get back there! Google, where's he gone?
Something else that I find out that's quite worrying is hands up if anyone's got an Amazon Alexa.
Yeah, yes.
They record.
Must be joking.
They record everything. So Amazon Alexa record information, and the customers knew that, but what the customers didn't know is that Google stores the recordings, and there's actually been crimes that have been committed with an Alexa in the room that the police in America have tried to subpoena off Google, and Google has said, look, we don't actually save the recordings from Alexa, but they do. So it's just recording whatever goes on in your house.
Okay, I mean, how do people feel about that? Are they happy about being recorded? I mean, I just want to say people are being recorded here, and we are going to put this on YouTube. If anyone's unhappy with that, though, we can delete it, and we will delete it. However, I think it's a good record.
Well, it has to be listening. I'm not saying it's a good thing that it's listening, but it has to be listening so it can hear that Alexa or...
Are you worried about saying something that you might regret later on?
Well, I normally do. When I'm not in my room, I turn off the microphone on my Alexa. I press the button to turn off the microphone so that I have a bit of privacy. Okay. And then I've been on the Alexa app before, and whenever you say something, like whenever you say Alexa, play from Spotify, it records you saying that and saves it to the app. So I can go onto the app and play myself saying Alexa, play
So you can actually listen to the recordings that it's made of you. Can you delete them?
I don't know.
Yeah, Reece says yes.
No, I just got my necklace on.
Okay. Come and get involved in this. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. Let's have a round of applause for this person. What's your name?
Nonny.
Nolly.
Nonny.
So have you got a view on this? You were saying, so you were shouting out something for Nick to say?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I just think that,
I mean, are we right? So it seems like there's a bit of paranoia here, that we're all a bit...
I think the next thing is everybody's getting these Fitbit watches.
Yeah.
They're recording. Before you know it, everyone knows where you are at all times.
Right, okay. Is that a bad thing?
Well, yeah, terrible, yeah. His Big Brother's watching you, basically, yeah.
Okay, what is Big Brother? Because is everyone familiar with the term Big Brother?
Boris Johnson's Big Brother.
Okay, Boris
Donald
Johnson.
Trump.
Are you worried about Big Brother watching you? That's you two at the back there. You worried about Big Brother watching you? Sorry? You don't have a big brother, you see? So, are you worried about your little sister watching you?
Little sister's watching.
Okay, so more little sister. Are we worried about Big Brother? Are we worried about these things? Yeah.
There's a thing, I have a watch and I can ring my mum on it, and it tracks you where you go, so I can ring my mum on it.
Is that a bad thing, good thing?
It's a good thing because I can if I want to go somewhere, I can just ask my mum on my phone.
Okay.
Well, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, so what's that?
It's a good thing if you've nothing to hide.
Aren't you happy, Mark, that your mum can find you wherever you are?
Not really, no. Not so much my mum, but the missus.
Okay, so you're worried about your missus Googling where you are?
Is he in the pub
okay, right.
Things like that, such as snap maps on Snapchat, where
snap maps.
Yeah, you can see where all your friends are unless you turn on ghost mode, which is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do people just? What's that? Hang on a second. What's that? I don't mind because I've got to sort myself.
I don't do Snapchat. I don't do Twitter. I do a little bit of Facebook.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know, man. I'm in.
Okay.
It's my business, then. It's my business. I communicate with my business clients.
Okay, so you need Facebook for business. What is your business?
I use this as a weapon.
Use Facebook as a weapon.
No, this microphone.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. Come and sit down. Come and get involved in this. What's your name?
Chloe.
Come on. What are you going to say?
My Alexa's very rubbish.
Yeah, rubbish. Are you worried about Alexa listening to what you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but you're saying it's not a good service.
Yeah.
Why? You're just not impressed. Okay. Nonny, were you going to say something?
There's this app that you can get on your phone, and I don't know, like, I don't have it, but I've seen, like, I always get ads pop up on my phone, and it's like this app where you can, like, see where people are, but, like, it tells you their location, but you don't even need their permission to get it. It's just an app. It's similar to Snap Maps, but they can't go private, like, because on Snap Maps you can choose to be, like, private, but this app just uses the location and doesn't ask their permission.
You can see where anyone in the world is, and even if they don't give their permission.
I think it's like your contacts that you have on your phone, because the ad is like somebody, like I don't know, the ad is like, I don't know, somebody looking for saying, oh, I'm staying back at work or something like that, and then it's like them at a bar or something like that, and they track them to it.
Okay, so it's a bit like Mark down the pub. Are you worried about your missus finding out that when you say that you're doing
I've got looking at a job, love, yeah, and I'll only be an hour and all that, you know what I mean? And, you know.
I mean, are we even going to be able to lie in the future? You say yes.
No, I don't.
Okay. We're talking about. Yeah.
Look, historically, right? I got to paint a picture here, right? The Chartist riots in Newport, right?
Yeah.
John Frost and Zephaniah Williams, there's another fella. They were holding midnight talks at the top of the valleys in 1837. Midnight talks at the top of mountains. So the idea that that's over 100 whatever years ago, like, people are listening. There's a threat. There must be a conscious threat of people listening, taking your information, and then holding it against you. You know, and so I can't believe that, like, here we are, 2019. You know, and now we're just giving our information away. We just can't wait to see our innermost thoughts, and we're there, bang, bang, bang. You've got a robot in the corner listening. Yeah. Ah, man, I am paranoid. I am paranoid.
Okay,
who said that?
But okay, so we've gone from trying to hide and do stuff in secret, like the Chartists. Does everyone know who the Chartists are? No.
It was the last cull of basically the establishment had got inside the Westgate Hotel. They were tipped off. All the soldiers were inside the hotel, and when the rioters turned up, they opened the windows and started shooting indiscriminately men, women, and children.
Right, okay.
It was the last cull by the establishment on its own people.
Okay, so it's about soldiers shooting protesters, but that was in 1837. We don't shoot protesters anymore in the UK, do we?
No, we've done a better job now. We've moulded people into a different category.
Okay.
Rob? I don't think you need to kill people nowadays to damage them, because again, with data, you can just spread misinformation, and that's where YouTube and Twitter and I set up a Twitter account because I'm trying to raise some money for a master's degree, and so I'm trying to spread some love, basically. But all the crap that comes on it, all this stuff that you get bombarded with, Twitter is just a graveyard for, like, really lonely people. Really,
Okay,
but they got Donald Trump in.
Okay, so basically we've gone from a society where we had to avoid being, having our secrets heard, to one where we're trying to tell everybody our secrets.
In a way, though, it is personal choice. If you want, I have a Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and I think it will all be a matter of time. Nothing ever lasts forever. I think it's got to come a time when everybody gets fed up at Facebook. Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Although it's lasting longer than I thought, this Facebook.
Is social media just a phase? Is it Facebook rather than Facebook?
Donald Trump shouldn't be called Donald Trump. He should be called Donald Plump.
Okay.
Because he doesn't know anything, like Theresa May and Boris Johnson.
Okay, we've got more political now. But no, the thing is, Reece, you just said that on camera, it's going onto YouTube. Now that's recorded forever.
You're knocking on our door now.
Are you worried about that? Are you worried about being critical of politicians?
Yeah, I want me to be the Prime Minister.
Okay, so I'll take that as a no, not worried. But are we worried about being critical about politics when everything's being recorded?
I think it depends on what you do. If you are in the public eye, you don't want to be caught, but some people don't care, so they say stuff. I don't know. I worry maybe about having like a social media background because you never know what's going to happen in the future. Like if you want to go to America and you follow the wrong person on Twitter, it could bite you in the backside. Yeah.
I mean, Reese, are you worried about going to? Now you've said Donald Trump should be called Donald Plump. Are you worried about not getting into America? Say.
Donald Pump.
Donald Pump. Okay. Are you worried about not being let into America now?
Yeah, I don't want to go into America.
Okay, you don't want to go there. Okay. Okay, we've got some new faces to the table. What's your name? Come a bit closer, a bit far away. What's your name?
Eve.
And
Charlie.
Charlie. We have got Callum. What's your name?
John Paul.
That's right, John Paul. We've got Mark. Rob's gone. He's got bored of the conversation. And we've got Nick. We've got Nonny. We've got Reese. We've got Layla, Hunter. And what's your name again?
Will.
Will. You okay, Will?
So miserable then, didn't I? I just realised. I'm still trying to wake up.
Okay, well, anyway, so we're talking about, I mean, Reese has just been very quick. We're talking about Big Brother watching us, or Little Sister in some cases. What's that?
Who's a Big Brother?
Who is this Big Brother character? Can anyone explain the Big Brother?
I don't have any.
You don't have a Big Brother?
I have my mum and dad, and that's it.
Okay. Can someone explain the Big Brother thing? Yeah.
Basically, what's your name? Sorry again.
Reese.
Reese.
Was it?
Jeff.
Jeff.
No, Reese.
Okay, we can be wherever you want to be, and maybe you need to be someone anonymous. If Big Brother is watching, maybe we all should take up false names.
So Brian, it's basically it's the modern day. He's not listening. He's not interested. It's basically the camera's watching you. It's basically modern day. It came around in the 80s, 90s with CCTV, and people are paranoid about people watching you.
Okay, so it's this paranoia that people are watching you, that authorities are watching.
You're basically every movement.
It was George Orwell.
Okay. Yeah. In 1984. Are you all right there? What's that?
I'm trying to get your water.
Okay, well, just ask. Yeah.
Things on loads of websites have these little effects on people, because there's this thing called Momo, and it's really bad because loads of kids are really scared of it, and they can't go to sleep.
Okay, so Momo is out there, Charlie.
I think that if on your phone you have like a screen at the you have like a camera at the front of it, and you don't know if someone's watching you or not whilst you're looking.
Okay, so they could actually be watching you all the time on your screen. So keep your phone in your pocket. Lila.
I sometimes put tape over the camera over my iPad.
You put tape over the camera. Does anyone else here put tape over their phone camera? Yeah.
Like at night, I can sometimes see like a flashing red light just next to the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean your phone's running out of batteries?
No, normally it'd be red up there, but I just see this little red light up by the microphone. I'm just like.
Okay, so
I'm not using the microphone.
So there is definitely, whether we call it Big Brother or Little Sister, there is this sense that people are watching, and they're. Reese doesn't worry about it. He's just criticised the President of the United States. He doesn't even want to go to America, so it's not worried.
I criticise him with his. I think Donald Trump is an incredible a signal, a sign, a state of affairs that a man like him has managed to crawl. And when historically, even his family, let's take the gloves off. Apparently, I'm not sure about this, but his grandfather made his money off the gold miners. Is that right? Off the Klondike. There's a lineage of sneakiness going on with our family.
Okay.
And maybe that's the way you make money, by being sneaky.
Okay. So
dishonest and being dishonest.
Sneakiness and dishonesty when it comes to Donald Trump.
Nick from Wales says you're a big sneaky liar.
Okay. Okay, we've had worse about Donald Trump earlier in the weekend. Charlie?
He's incredibly racist to everyone.
Right.
And he's wanted to build a wall to separate Mexico and the United States.
Okay. And are you not in favour of that?
No. I think they should...
Why should there not be a wall between Mexico and the United States?
Well, I know people keep on trying to cross a wall, but...
Yeah.
I think if Mexico's in trouble, they kind of need to help them.
Okay, so it's a wrong attitude to have to Mexico to build a wall around Mexico, John Paul?
What is this video called?
What video? The one we're doing now?
Yeah.
It's Talkaoke, the people speak, the website's there. Talkaoke. Where's my cards? There we go. No, we don't edit it. We don't edit it because it's just, you know, when you start editing, then you start choosing this bit or that bit, and it's all about, it's just the flow, really. Yeah, and it takes too much time as well. It's a good point there from
I believe the children are our future.
Okay.
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
But are we teaching the children well? That's the question. Are we actually teaching the children well?
Haven't they said they're going to build a wall like 700 years ago? Or like 3, or like...
Okay, so they were gonna... what's that? What about the Great Wall of China? I mean, there's a... I mean, did people criticise the Emperor of China for building the Great Wall of China?
The Great Wall of...
Or Hadrian's Wall? How come Donald Trump's getting a lot of stick for building a wall when Hadrian's done it, the Chinese have done it? What's the problem with the Americans?
The Chinese peasants who made it, they were really forced into it. It was essentially just slave labour. If they died, then they...
So would you be as critical of the Chinese wall as Donald Trump's wall?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Because of the slave labour they took to do it.
So
I actually don't care that they built it.
What about
really
Hadrian's wall?
Well, good for him.
Okay. So Hadrian gets off scot-free literally, for building a wall. But somehow the Chinese are using slave labour. Their wall is no good, and we don't like Donald Trump's wall. So are we being fair about these walls? I mean, some people are allowed to build walls, some people are not.
The Great Wall of China was built ages ago, though.
Okay.
And it looks much prettier than Donald Trump's wall.
Okay. What does Donald Trump's wall look like?
It looks like a fence.
Hunter, final thought before you go?
Hadrian's Wall is not as good as the Antonine Wall, in my opinion.
The what wall?
The Antonine Wall. How are you supposed to pronounce it?
I don't know what wall you're talking about.
The one in Scotland.
Okay, there's another wall.
Yeah. I don't remember what the name.
Okay, what's that?
Don't do drugs.
Okay. So we're talking about there is apparently another wall apart from Hadrian's Wall. Why do some walls? We like some walls. We dislike other walls. Yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna come to you in a second. But what's your name again?
Eve.
Eve had a hand up for ages. She's not saying anything. It's Alexa.
Well, people have reasons to build a wall, and most of them are good reasons. But the wall that Donald Trump's building is to separate them from Mexico.
Okay.
Which is really,
what's that?
It's kind of stupid though, because
final thought.
a massive wall of water is it's to stop their country from going to their country, but that would be a massive one.
Well, isn't that the same as Hadrian's Wall and Great Wall of China? Anyway, final thought from you, Mark.
Listen, I think the wall thing is obviously these great walls in China and Hadrian's Wall. They're obviously great in history.
Couldn't it be the Great Wall of America?
It's just to exclude people into it, really, and it's just to keep each other from attacking each other. But obviously, Donald Trump's doing it for, I don't know, to keep it, obviously, his dislike for Mexicans, I suppose.
Okay, to keep the dislike for Mexicans going.
Which is did, yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, hang on a sec, what's that? Yeah.
I just, with walls, are they keeping people in or keeping people out?
Okay. Is the wall...
so it works two ways, really, and I think that little girl...
Okay, so it's trying to stop people from going to Mexico as well. Thank you.
Okay, man.
Okay, so we're talking about walls. Donald Trump wants to build a wall. The Chinese have done it. Hadrian has done it. Someone called Antonine or something. There's another wall in Scotland, apparently. But is it to keep people in or to keep people out? What?
In Donald Trump case, out.
Okay.
We shouldn't be doing things like this and building walls in modern day like this.
Okay, so what you're saying is the Chinese built their wall a long time ago. Things have changed in the world. So we don't need walls anymore.
That's nice.
Yeah.
The Hadrian's Wall and other walls that are similar, they were built as a defense, America isn't in great threat if they didn't build the wall to Mexico. Like, it's not like the whole of America would be wiped out if a Mexican got in across the
So it's a bit, okay, so I get it now, it's a bit more of an old school thing, the wall, and it's not fitting for the modern era. We're talking about walls. Have you ever built a wall? And what's the secret to building a good wall?
How did we start talking about electronics to now walls?
Well, I think it's because you brought up the thing about Donald Trump, to be honest. I think it's down to you.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier on. We were talking about internet paranoia and social media, and are we paranoid that we're trying to find out who Big Brother is and whether he's watching us, or is it Little Sister? We heard sometimes Little Sister is watching, not Big Brother. But anyway, we've moved on now. We're talking about walls. Is a wall ever a good thing? Is it like an old school? Is it an old school thing?
A wall is a good thing because if you didn't have walls, you wouldn't be warm in your house.
Okay. So is it for warmth reasons that Donald Trump's building his wall?
I would say like house walls and small walls.
Small walls are okay.
They're fine because they're not covering an entire country, are they?
Okay, so it's when you go for a whole country, the wall has got too long. Okay.
Are we on TV? Because like.
Well, we're kind of going to be on YouTube. We've been through all of this as well, and YouTube. YouTube. We've been talking about it for the last half an hour on this website. No, we don't, because we only get 12 hits. It's only the people that are actually on it that come and watch us.
So how many hits do you need to start making money?
I don't know. Does anyone know?
Hello?
Oh yeah.
It's like 10,000, and you also need to get adverts in your videos.
Say that again, Lila.
I think it's 10,000.
You need 10,000 people.
And 1,160,000.
1,160,000. What's that come forward?
This is going to be the one that sends it viral, mate.
Okay, someone needs to make this go viral, but there was a guy earlier on saying it actually makes people go more extreme, because the more extreme videos get more views, and that's why we don't get many views, because we're
if you set this up now, say right, come back in half an hour, Nick, right, we'll pretend we'll have the debate. I don't like what you say, you get up and smack me in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
I hit the floor.
Yeah.
Only pretend, of course. You know, like acting.
So we have like a pretend
off camera, so that that glancing blow thing. Maybe that might improve your.
Okay, so if we had some fights here, we could have. I mean, I would get Will to do it, because Will's got. Because no.
How come you invite me to the table? Next thing you know, I'm getting punched in the face by somebody.
You've got the training. You've got the training. That's why.
Oh
You've been to theatre school.
This is true.
I went to art school, so.
That's what they sell us with, isn't it? Sex and violence. That's what.
Okay, I mean, is that the reason why this video doesn't?
Violence right now.
Is that the reason why this video doesn't get any hits? Is because we don't have enough sex and violence, enough controversy?
No, it's because we need to tell them to viewers and tell them that we need subscribers, because we're amazing.
Don't forget to like and subscribe on this video.
Okay.
In the link down below.
Okay, I don't know if we've got a link down. We'll have to make a link down below. And so anyway, we've got some new faces around the table. This is Talkaoke Pop-Up Talk Show. At the moment, we're talking about YouTube. We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about walls. Do we need a firewall around the video? Come and join in. We have got Eve. We've got Charlie. We've got Lily. We've got Callum. We've got
Jenny.
And
Scarlett.
And we've got Nick, and we've got Nonny. Are you off?
I think I'm just going to get a drink. I'd like to come back.
Give us a final thought, though, for now.
I think you're doing a great job, fella.
Okay. Give me something a bit more controversial. You just said you wanted something.
I think. I kind of think the system is very clever. I think Martin Luther King said, if you're going to fight the power, you better get your act together, because they've been doing it for a very long time, and they're very good at it.
Okay.
So we can sit here with kind of like knee-jerk reactions, etc., and kind of like plot and work our way in. But they've been doing it for thousands of years. They're dug in, they're trenched in.
So you need to get wise if you want to fight. But do we want to fight the power? Do people want to fight the power around the table? Do you want to fight the power?
You've got to finish your names. Finish your names.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. We didn't finish the names. Thank you, Will. What's that?
I want to fight someone.
Oh, so you want to fight someone, but do you want to fight the power?
What's the power?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Nick. That's your dad. What is the power anyway? So we got Nonny, we got Reese, we got Lila, we've got Will. What's your name?
Rose.
And I'm Mikey. There's a few. Where do we want to go with this? Do we want to talk about fighting the power? Do we want to talk about the internet? Do we want to talk? Come sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us your name first of all.
Ben.
Ben. Go on.
Okay. Right. Do you want to fight the power? I don't think you want to fight the power. Your life's too good. You're having a great time. You've come here to this festival. Your parents are looking after you. Everything's cushy. Yeah. You know, I have got a wig on. He hasn't got a wig on, but I've got a wig on.
Do you want to fight the power?
Look, this isn't about me. This is about these guys. They're the next generation. I mean, but you know what? It's about what your future holds.
Yeah.
You know, I want to fight the power. You know, what's happened in the last 3 years in this country's made me want to fight the power.
Okay, right.
But what do you guys want to do? You know, if your what are your options?
Okay, well, let's find out. Do you want to fight the power? Do you know what the power is, Rose?
We've got to kill Brexit.
Kill Brexit. How do you kill Brexit?
Stop it.
Stop it, okay. Okay, so there is a bit of sense of wanting to get rid of Brexit, from Rose at least. Charlie?
Boris Johnson cannot be Prime Minister.
Why?
Because he's rubbish.
Okay, but I mean, isn't he Prime Minister?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, but you just said he can't be Prime Minister. Okay.
We've got to stop him from being Prime
Okay, so there is a bit of wanting to fight the power. You want a different Prime Minister?
To sack him.
Okay, how?
Everyone who's lived in England who's not like part of Prime Minister and people, and we have to work together and then just make sure that everyone, go against them. So then they're just doing stuff that they want to do, not the whole people.
Okay, so there is a sense they want to fight. At least people want to get rid of Brexit around this table anyway. They want to get rid of the Prime Minister. Who would you like? Have you got an idea of who you'd like to have as Prime Minister rather than Boris Johnson?
My dad.
Eve? Don't know. Yeah.
We need a good Prime Minister who'll be responsible.
Who would that be?
My dad.
Is your dad here?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he is. He's packing my tent though. He's not here.
All right. Well, maybe we can bring him in. Okay. On this side. So people do want to fight. What's your name again? Sorry.
Ben.
Ben. So people do want to fight.
Yeah. And so I just want to say, who voted round here? Who voted in the referendum here?
Who voted in the referendum?
Yeah.
Did you voted?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, what about you?
And is that a problem? I mean, should you guys have been allowed to vote?
Okay.
I mean, obviously you weren't.
Okay. What would you have voted?
I would have voted anybody but the Prime Minister we have now. Because he's stupid.
And he's making kill Boris Johnson and then just kill Donald Trump.
Okay, so you would want to. So for you, for fighting the power, it's about killing the people you don't like.
And there's the phones that they say, you gotta pay money to do this game, and it tells you what would you look like when you're in the future. But actually, when you grow in the future, you look the total opposite, and you're like, oh well, I've just lost £100.
Okay, so these predict the future games should be more accurate and cheaper. Fighting the power. What is fighting the power? Do you want to come and get involved? Can we move a chair out of the way? Do you want to have a chat? No. Okay, put the chairs back. So we're talking about fighting. What is fighting the power? Is fighting the power getting rid of Brexit? Is it getting rid of the Prime Minister? Should it be Rose's dad as Prime Minister?
I think that we should get a vote because we're the next generation.
Yeah.
It's we're more likely to live longer.
Okay.
And we're more likely to see what happens.
Okay.
And also, I think that we should, if you think you're responsible enough to be Prime Minister, you should get tryouts and then you should get a group of smaller people to see how you're responsible, how you could change the world, and then finally we'll get one Prime Minister. So it could be anyone.
Okay, so there should be some kind of method of testing the Prime Minister first.
Also, can I do a shout out to people in my class like Holly, Frankie, Crystal, Lola, Georgina, Rose, my best friend.
You've kind of done it, but let's keep the flow going here. We're talking about, do the young people want to fight the power? And it's Ben is saying they don't really because their lives are cushy, but we found out that actually they do want to fight the power. They want to stop Brexit, and they want a different Prime Minister, possibly Rose's dad, but also a different system, a different way of getting the Prime Minister, where you have some kind of test group first, where you actually try out the Prime Minister first before giving him or her the job.
This test group idea was something we also mentioned yesterday, but for voting for leave the EU or not.
Yeah.
We were talking about how we'd take an IQ test, and if you were above above, then you can vote. Or
I mean, do you think the politicians need to do a test before getting the job?
Well, depends really, because there's IQ and then there's common sense.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, can you have a test for common sense?
Yes.
You say yes. Okay, Reese, come on. Okay, I'll come back to you. We're talking about do we need to test? Do we need to fight the power? Come and have a seat. I've got all people standing. We want you to get involved. This is not a spectator sport. This is participatory. This is participatory. We want you to participate. Have you got a view on this? Do we believe in this generation will fight the power and they will get what they want? What's that?
You could be the Prime Minister.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, what first thing I do is make sure there's no morning sessions in Parliament.
We have to, so the young generation, us children, have to figure out what the world wants.
Okay, and what do you think the world wants? Any thoughts?
Not Donald Trump.
Okay, the world doesn't want. What does the world actually? What does the world want? Any ideas?
Donald Trump. They voted for him. The American people voted for Donald Trump.
So they do want him.
So you might not like him, but they voted for him.
Okay.
So what do you have to do if you don't like people like Donald Trump?
Yeah, Lila?
The whole world should get a chance to vote, not just the Americans.
Okay, everyone should be able to vote on who Americans have as their leader?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
How about we have one queen, one king, one prince, one whatever the girl, princess.
And a princess, okay.
And then one actually good prime minister, not those like.
Okay, but how do we get a good prime minister? This is what the conjecture is on this side. Yeah.
That you just need to get a responsible people who you think are responsible, and then you get tested, and then you find the perfect one.
Okay, so you test it. You do a strong testing process. What would be in the test? Would it be a test on common sense, as Callum wants?
Test on everything.
Testing on everything. Have you got a view on this?
No, but my mum has.
Okay, Mum, come and get involved. What's your view?
No, you're just saying how do we get what we want? We need to vote, so we need a children's parliament.
Okay, children's parliament. Okay, all right. How is that going to work? Would it work? Yeah.
We've got to get a prime minister child, and we need a prime minister.
How old should the prime minister child be?
Around a teenage, maybe around 10 or maybe 10 or 12 or something.
Okay, what are you saying?
I think they should be over 13,
right.
And you have to be very responsible, and we'll have votes.
Okay.
We also have to have a normal prime minister, I think.
What's a normal prime minister?
Well, an adult.
An adult prime minister as well as a child prime minister. Okay. So talking about change of power, I think we're going to have a change of power now, because I'm just overwhelmed by all this conjecture. Are you going to jump in the middle, Will? We'll see how it goes. Come over this side.
We're going to be on the same boat though, Mike.
Well, we'll see. We'll just swap it around.
I'm thinking Callum's going to have my job to jump in and do my job for me.
Okay.
Let's give it a go.
Okay. All right. So we're going to keep this. We can keep this hot. Do we need a children's prime minister? Do we need a children's parliament? Do the young people really want to fight the power? Have they got it easy, just having a cushy life in a festival? Yeah.
Who would vote in this children's prime minister? Who would be the one that votes it? Look at this very smooth transition. The children. I'm going to pass it over there. You carry on to the mic. That's right.
I think that the children should get a vote as well as the adults, because it's also they're going to see everything as well.
Right. Okay. So children. But what age should people be able to vote at?
Over 10.
Over 10. All right. So all 10-year-olds should be able to vote. What do you think about this? In fact, before we do this, let's do a round of names, because I missed it. Mikey was jumping in. I've missed it. We're going to start here. What's your name?
Rose.
Eve.
Charlie.
Lily. Callum.
Archie.
Archie at the back.
Jenny.
It's nice. A little bit of a more mellow one. There's a lot of energy I wasn't expecting coming out of the young people.
Scarlett.
At the back there. Tina. What about you hiding behind as well?
Daniel.
Daniel, nice to meet you.
Ben.
Ben.
Nonny.
Nonny.
Reese.
Reese.
Lila.
Lila.
Mikey.
I'm Will, this is Talkaoke, and I've been missing some of the conversation. I missed you at the back as well, why shouldn't I? No, it's right, you can sit. Like Mikey says, it's not a spectator sport, but get involved when you feel ready. So we've got over here, you think 10-year-olds should be allowed to vote in the next election. Do you think we should re-vote then, get back into it? What are you thinking?
I disagree, I think it's fine as it is.
You think it's fine as it is?
If children voted, then they'd be, like, persuaded by their parents,
Right,
and whatever their
okay.
parents would think, they would end up thinking that.
So is this what's going to start happening? Kids are just going to be voting what their parents have voted? Does that not mean when you get to 18, you're just going to vote the same as your parents as well? What are you thinking, Reese?
Yeah, what about if you're a good person, but then when you grow older, you're a bad person? But what about this is the worst thing ever. What if you're a little kid and you're going to be over 10?
What about if you're over 10 and a little kid though? Do you think you're just going to turn bad overnight when you get a little bit older?
No, yeah, you're just going to be like, because when you get to a...
Let's get final thought.
Let's
get final thought. I'm going to come back to that, Reese. Hold that thought. Final thought, guys, before you go.
I'll be back.
You'll be back, all right. You got Batman there coming back in a little bit.
We should have a children's prime minister.
A children's prime minister, like we're saying. We've got a final thought from yourself as well.
The next generation needs justice.
Next generation. Do the young people not have the justice they need in the world? That's what we're talking about at the moment. Go for it. What are your thoughts?
I think it should be under 20 and over 10.
So under 20 but over 10. Do you think anyone over 20 should be allowed to vote, or just children? For this child's prime minister?
Yeah.
Just children going to vote. I want to know what the adults are thinking. They're all sat back at the minute letting the kids talk politics. Do you think kids should have a prime minister? Do they need more representation? What are you thinking?
Loads of people to 5 and to sometimes 15 love slime, so if they're 10 or over, they should literally just make the whole world slime.
You just need more slime in the world. Is that what we're missing? Would that solve the Brexit problem if you just start getting more slime?
Slime's stupid, because if you eat slime you'll die, so if people eat slime and if everybody eats slimes you'll die.
That's a great health message there. I'm really glad we're going to get that one out. Don't eat the slime that you're making at the festival. We've got some new faces. What are your names?
I'm Alex.
Alex?
I'm Harvey.
Harvey, lovely to meet you guys. At the minute we're talking about politics. We've been talking about young people's representation. Do we need a child prime minister? What are your thoughts?
I think you should vote for your own generation.
So you should only, so kids can only vote for children prime ministers, adults can vote for adult prime ministers?
So I think that when you get to 30 to 40, I'd say, you should vote for that. Only people in that age group should be able to vote.
Right, so we should split politicians by their age.
So it would be more responsible people.
What are we thinking? Jenny, you're staying, you've snuck round to the back like I couldn't see you there, but I can still see you. It's a spinny table, we're very high tech. So what do you think? Do you think we need more kids in politics? We need more representation?
I think that the country should be run by children completely under the age of 18, because it's absolutely run by idiots at the moment. So I think that kids would do a much better job than is currently being done.
Nice one. Now there's a couple of faces. I don't see some of the others not so sure. Some seem in approval of this. What are your thoughts?
I feel like there should be a president of all the presidents, so they can boss.
So it should be like a world president. Who's going to elect this world president though? Reese, it looks like you want to be the next world president. The passion that's coming out of you.
No, it's not that.
Is it just too much slime that you've eaten? What is it?
I know there's challenges on YouTube that are like pause challenges. So what if you do it to the prime minister and then you break all the controllers in the world?
And all the controllers, what, to the TV?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get any information then. No one will know not to eat the slime. What's going to happen then, Reese? It's going to be anarchy.
We're going to do paper and write on it.
You're going to send letters, write paper. That's it.
Maybe we should just do it on YouTube hits. And maybe the Prime Minister should just be a vlogger. What do you think?
Do we need more YouTube hits to be in charge of the country? Alex, stand a bit quiet over there. What are your thoughts? It's a big question to answer. Should people on the internet run the country? That's the question at the moment. What are your thoughts?
Well,
I guess most people are on the internet, aren't they?
I don't know. Is Boris Johnson vlogging?
No.
Should he be vlogging? Should he be more transparent? Didn't Ed Miliband try that a couple of years ago?
Twitter account, Boris?
I don't know. Who knows? Does Boris have a Twitter account? Should he have a Twitter account? He does.
Yeah.
What's he tweeting about? Do you know?
No.
No?
I just know.
You know? Does it involve slime by any chance?
No, he gets his YouTube channel and then he pretends to be little, but actually he's like 767.
So he's 700. What's his secret to staying so young and getting out there?
Because he gets makeup done.
He gets makeup. That is some good makeup. I need to get myself some of that. Nanny, what are your thoughts on this?
I think that we're saying about like children being the future, but politics isn't really made very appealing to children. You know, like lots of children, you know, they're not going to sit and watch a debate in Parliament or be interested in that sort of thing. So it needs to be more inclusive.
How do we make it more inclusive? How do you make it more exciting? Harvey, you got any ideas? How can we make politics more exciting? What would you like to see? Would you tune into Question Time? Should I give you a minute to think about it, Boris? It's a big question to answer, isn't it? That's why I don't like answering questions when I'm in the middle. I like to throw it to you guys. Makes my job a bit easier. Callum, what are your ideas on this, though?
I think if we did have like a child prime minister type thing, then it'd have to be kind of controlled in a way so that they don't do stupid things like, oh, we're going to make every tuxedo in the world bright pink and glittery.
But maybe they should be glittery. I mean, look, you've got an amazing hat on. What about if all the prime ministers had to wear funky hats instead?
Well, then I think they would disapprove of that.
Why would they disapprove of it? I think it's a great idea.
Because
maybe that's how you make it more exciting, bring some fashion into it as well.
Well, I think they see themselves as quite empowering, and they don't really get that look from wearing sparkly, glittery pink clothing.
Right,
They want to look quite serious and...
So is politics all about having power, getting power?
I think that there could be like a kind of world council of ex-prime ministers and presidents.
Here, yeah.
But then all the countries are run by kids, and then this council puts restrictions on it, so they don't put massive.
So do we need a World Council? Who's going to elect the World Council? Who's going to get involved in it? Now, before we do, we've got some new faces. Introduce yourselves, guys.
I'm Aidan.
Aidan and...
I'm Luke.
It's great to see you guys again. We've been talking a lot today. At the minute, we're talking about politics. Do we need child prime minister? And actually, we've just moved on to maybe we need a World Council to be elected. Go for it, Reese.
Why can't the prime ministers wear what they want? Because every single time they're always wearing black.
They're always wearing black, so they need more colour. Is that what it means? Maybe the World Council can be designed and have these pink glittery outfits that Callum sees that they think they're opposed to at the moment.
Can I weigh in here? I feel like Prime Minister, theoretically, they are allowed to wear whatever they want, and yet the kind of people who are drawn to that job and the kind of people who get that job are the ones who, A, probably don't have the creativity to wear whatever they want, or B, are advised by teams and teams of people that if you wear this, more people will support you. So I think it's more that they are told to wear that. I bet Boris, he's a bad example. I bet all of the prime ministers are craving inside to wear something like expressive.
Do you think when they shut that door to number 10 then they just whip on the pink dressing gown, get out the wigs?
It works because it works. No one tries anything else, so we don't know. We do. Monster Raving and Looney Party.
They're not a realistic contender for the...
Yeah, but I mean, I think that makes my point. You know, people can dress up however they like, but they don't. They're not a credible. They don't come across as a credible party.
That's not because of what they wear. It's because of their policies. I can guarantee if someone wore an open neck shirt or something other than a suit and a tie, they would have more chance. They would do well if they match their personality with it.
Right. So maybe their costumes and their outfits need to represent their personality. Yeah, maybe you need to get into politics. Maybe you could be on the World Council advising the new child prime minister.
I like to be incognito, Ben.
Ben, what do you think, Ben? Do you think you want to be more incognito? Maybe it goes back to what we're saying. It should be run by the internet then. Maybe we don't need to know who's running.
Exactly. I could be the prime minister. It could be Boris Johnson's under here, couldn't it? Yeah, exactly. It could be anybody.
Amazing makeup that
it's just a dressing up. I just haven't grown up. I like the dressing up box.
But that's what Ben was saying. Reese was saying earlier. Sorry, Ben. Was saying that maybe people grow up a bit too quick, get a bit too serious. Maybe we need to stay younger. What are you thinking, Aidan?
Yeah, well, it's just as somebody who grew up with Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, David Cameron, I've got a specific idea in my head of like what Prime Minister is. I'd be really interested in asking some of the younger people around the table what their connotations of the idea of Prime Minister is, having grown up with Theresa May, Boris Johnson, etc., Jeremy Corbyn.
Question out to people: what do you think of when you hear the words Prime Minister? Who do you think, or what do you think you need to be or do?
A very serious, boring person that can
This is the
always
criteria
win
they
an
need to tick
argument.
off.
Who went to places like Eton and Cambridge and really
Look at
posh.
that, we're talking about is politics too boring?
Always
to
wear
Cambridge
black.
or Eton to be Prime Minister at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's have a think. What are your thoughts? What's your name again?
Scarlett.
Scarlett. Hello again, Scarlett. What are your thoughts? You get your hand up, or you just frozen like that?
What if Boris Johnson is watching this?
What is he? I don't know. Should we give Boris a wave just in case? Just in case he's there. Would you like? Who would like to have a conversation with Boris Johnson if you had the chance? Yeah. What would you like to say to him?
I'd say to him, how do you cope on a daily basis knowing that you and your party is responsible for the deaths of people, the decreasing in quality of life of people, and the systematic decline of regions of the North and Wales and
So
Scotland?
maybe we need a little bit more conversation with the politicians.
I would say to Boris Johnson and Theresa May and Donald Trump, if I have a controller, a TV controller, I would say pause, and then I would just break the controller, burn it.
So you want to
throw it
freeze
on a
them?
bomb.
Cryogenically freeze the politicians and smash them up? You've got a bit of a violent streak in your ears. I think
And then
this
throw it
snake
at
is
the
taking over.
And then throw it at the faces.
Keep them alive on slime.
Keep them alive on slime. You've missed it. Wait, we're going to come to. I'm going to come Scarlett first, and I'll come over to you. You don't have to apologise. It's all good.
I forgot.
You forgot. Don't worry. It happens. There's a lot of pressure. Aidan, go for
I'd
goal,
make
come
them
on.
live on minimum wage and without any sort of subsidised housing.
Right. So maybe they need to walk in the shoes of others. Do you think politicians are a bit too entitled? Is that what we're saying right now? Yeah. Jenny seems good. What are your thoughts, Jenny, at the back? I see you nodding along.
I think the Prime Minister should come from a council estate. Yes.
Right, okay, so should there always be a politician from council estates that are in at some point? Scarlett, as it come back to you, what was your thought? Don't worry, give me a high five, we'll get there at some point. It's all good. What we're saying though, do you think we need more politicians from council estates?
I wouldn't say. Yeah, I think we need people who know what the worst is like, so they act to stop that.
So we need
they don't think
more impoverished
selfishly
politicians that
yeah.
can empathise with the people and understand their problems as well.
Yeah.
We've got some new faces as well. What's your name?
Archie.
Archie, and he's running round. I'll get you in a minute. I can see you. I know your name, but it's a formality.
There's so much wisdom around this table coming from people who are like 50 years younger than politicians, and it just shows you how age is not something that affects something.
Well, this is what we've been saying at the table so far. Now, let's do a full round of names because we've got a lot of new faces. So we'll start here.
Tom.
We've got Tom, we've got
Jenny,
we've got Scarlett, we've got a mission name at the back.
Jess.
What was it, sorry? Jess, we've got Aidan, we've got Alex, we've got Harvey, we've got Callum, we've got Archie, we've got
Archie
as well, double Archie, alright, happy days. We've got Luke, I didn't catch your name?
Molly,
we've got Nonny, we've got Reese, we've got Mikey here, and what's your name finally?
Lila.
This is Talkaoke. Oh, I tell you what, I wasn't quite ready for this conversation this morning. It's all popping up, isn't it?
Something I thought just Archie said over here about you have to go to like Cambridge and be really posh. I feel like that maybe does a disservice to Cambridge as opposed to Eton, which is somewhere where, because like Eton's somewhere where money takes you there. Cambridge is something where something else like sort of attainment might take you there.
So maybe Eton's the worst of the schools because you have to buy your way in to get there. Should people have to pay in? You go and give us a final thought before you go, Nonny and Reese. What are your thoughts?
I forgot what we're talking about.
We're talking about politics, talking about power. Do we need children more involved?
Yeah, I think we need children to be the Prime Minister.
Children Prime Ministers. Lila, what's your final thought for us?
Children should be able to watch adult films.
Children should be able to watch adult films. Maybe that's what we'll talk about in a second.
The future is children, so they should have a say.
The future is children. A round of applause to these guys. You've been great. Enjoy the rest of your day. What do you think then? Do you think children need to be given more responsibility? Do you think we take them for granted?
I think the children should vote on Brexit.
You think kids should vote on Brexit? We were saying earlier, apparently
A second referendum with under 18s.
Right, and just the under 18s get to vote. Yeah? What are your thoughts? Yeah, Jenny seems to agree. Scarlett, what are your ideas on this?
But Mexico hasn't agreed to build the wall.
Mexico hasn't agreed to build a wall. Do you think if children could have voted in America, there would be a wall conversation at all right now? Do you think kids should be allowed to vote in all countries of the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we going for, Arch? What are your thoughts?
I only feel like it should be maybe like 16 and over though, because you know, if you're like 14 or 13 and you're not that informed, I'm not saying that all 14 and 13-year-olds aren't, then your parents can manipulate you, which just makes you vote what they want.
So maybe we need to wait. So we need to bring it a bit younger to 16, but not all the way down to 10.
I've actually thought about this before, and I think that the age of your maturity is more akin to that of your school year group cohort than your numerical age. So I would say after this, like GCSEs, after you finish that kind of age where you're legally allowed to leave school, I think that would be when voting can kick in.
Right. So when you can leave, but you have to be in school till you're 18 now, don't you?
You have to be in something, because it can be an apprenticeship or something. But I'd say you can leave. You can get a job at 16 plus. So I think that's the age. That's summer, and that also means that there's like a whole new amount join at the same time as well.
Yeah, Molly, you're standing a bit quiet over there. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think young people at 16 should be able to vote, even younger than that?
Yeah, because back in the Victorians, women weren't given the chance to vote, and I also think children should vote. So
do you think we're going to look back in another 100 years like we do now and think, why weren't women having the vote? We're going to go, why did children not have the vote?
Yeah,
so maybe we're living in an almost prehistoric time, you know. Maybe we're not quite up with the speed in 2019. We need to be a bit more forward thinking. Mikey, pop a chair out the way. Get us helping in there. Yeah,
we need a revolution.
We need a revolution. Who's leading the revolution? We've got a new face at the table. What's your name?
Mitchell.
Mitchell, nice to meet you. Mitchell, what's your name at the back as well?
Dave.
Dave, nice to meet you. This is Talkaoke. We're talking at the moment about maybe we need a revolution. The young people are rising up. We're fed up with the situation in the country.
I'll tell you what. We are fed up, and people around the country are fed up, because when you are given a position of power, that comes with a massive responsibility. You can literally change anything about your country. So the fact that now, after 7 years of Conservative leadership and from infinite years of loaded leadership, the fact that nothing's changed and there's still poverty exists, people are going to be hungry. Kids over summer, because they haven't got school meals, they're going to be hungry in like one of the largest economies in the world. That should be absolutely scandalous. I will put every government MP who's been since 2010 in a prison cell because of they're complicit in the continuating hunger. Exactly.
Maybe this
they actually yes, because of what they've done. Abuse of power should come as no surprise.
I'm going to be arrested for inciting a riot or something in a second. Everyone's getting so passionate about it. Do you think we need a revolution? Is the contract? Come sit down. That's what we're talking about at the moment. Molly, what are your ideas on it?
I think there should be a petition going up and down the country about letting children vote.
Right, okay, maybe you could start the petition. Can you start a petition, or do you need a qualification? Mitchell, what do you think? Do we need to have a vote on getting young people to vote? Are we voting just for the sake of it now?
No.
No, what would you like to see in government? How would you fix the world's problems at the moment? It's a big question to answer.
I don't really know.
You don't know? No one seems to know. This is the problem. We want a revolution, but we don't know how to start it. How do we make a change happen? I'm going to come over. Harvey, would you like to see change in the country?
Yes.
What would you like to see changed if you could change anything?
Probably like it'll be
a bit closer. I can't hear you back there.
It'll be a lot better if cats just took over everything.
If
I think
cats
they'd be
took
more
over?
competent.
More competent. Maybe we need cats.
Nothing on shelves.
There'd be nothing on shelves, did you know?
If cats took over.
What? This is a good one though. This is a good topic. What change would you like to see in the country?
If we need a revolution, we should start a petition on Change.org.
Change.org? What's Change.org? Explain to the people.
It's like a website with petitions and stuff, and you can share them with like your friends on WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter and everything, and we can just spread it across everyone.
Spread the word, spread the message. Archie, take them out. What are your thoughts?
You know what I would like to change? I'll tell you.
What would you like to change?
I think that, you know, because we should make, like, because the independent political party have just kind of come around this last year, and they're kind of quite good because they've got left and right in them, I'd say. But again, not that good. I would say.
So is that the future, the independent
I just feel
party?
like no, definitely not. I just feel like we should kind of scrap most of the political parties because it's outdated.
We need a fresh
the government
slate then, a
system is
fresh start.
outdated. Like the Conservative Party have been around the longest, and then it's like the Lib Dems from like the Whigs and whatever the other ones are called, and then Labour Party. But it's an outdated system. There's only 3 main parties really.
Okay, so we're talking about. Do you think politics is outdated? Do we need a bit of a revamp, a new party to come along and solve the issues? What are your thoughts? Come sit down. That's what we're talking about. Come get involved.
I think you say, what do you want changing? I think the first thing we can change is education reform, end the academy system instantly. The second thing we need to change is the regions in the UK that were made as structurally unemployed throughout the 1980s need jobs. They haven't had jobs yet. That's 40 years on. We haven't managed to arrange any kind of sustainable employment in those regions. And the third thing I'd want to do is that the people in this country should demand more. It shouldn't be, please can we have some left-wing ideas amongst our right-wing ideas, please. It should be, please can you just use the power that you've got to spread employment and opportunities throughout the nation.
So
once we've achieved that, then throughout the world. It's not that hard. 50 years we could sort it all out, I'm sure.
So Tom, what do you think? Do we need to get some more job opportunities for people out in the world at the moment? Are we too constricted?
No, I think maybe more markets, but my thoughts on the government, possibly not even a reform. We could just take voting onto the internet.
Right.
Because it's just really annoying to have to go to a voting booth and do everything. Also, if it was online, it would take some of that away from the older generation and sway in the favour of
just using the technophone to try and get.
Yes.
What was that, Dave?
Gammon can't browse.
What? Well, come again with that.
Gammon, it's the opposite of snowflake, is gammon.
I didn't even know that.
Gammon can't browse. I'm going to get a t-shirt. Gammon can't browse.
So do we need a voting app? What are the thoughts at the back there? Yeah. Jess, what are your ideas?
No, we shouldn't have a voting app because you might say gammon can't browse, but what about all the other people who can't read and write, who can't use a computer? 20% of the people can't use a computer, they're the poorest people. What about if you link identification to voting, you're alienating people?
Right, okay. So maybe we're alienating people trying to do that. We need to be more inclusive. Should we have both options though? Should you be able to vote online and go into a booth? What are the thoughts? Go for it, Ruby.
No, I think if you can't be bothered to go down to a polling station, then you shouldn't vote.
Right, okay, interesting. Go for it.
Also, that can be rigged, I reckon. Internet voting. It already is, I think, in America, possibly. That happened.
So it's getting a bit more rigged and open up
I
to
reckon,
the internet.
yeah. And like this lady said, yeah, you get off your butt and get down to the polling station.
Maybe people are getting too lazy in politics. Yeah, go for it, Eddie.
Yeah, I voted for the first time this year in some council elections.
How did you find it?
How'd I find it? Do you know what, mate? I'm a reasonably bright bloke. Doesn't sound like it if I'm talking. I'm a reasonably bright lad, and to be honest, it was actually quite a daunting experience. It might have been in my old school where I didn't have a positive association with. It was complicated. I had to queue a certain way for my street compared to another way for someone else's street. It was just difficult. It felt like I was at border control. I think that for a lot of people, there's a lot of unheard voices, and disproportionately affects possibly people who have had fewer opportunities, who are the voices that we need to be hearing. So I'd make it more straightforward, more easier, more inaccessible places, like in the middle of town and that sort of thing, rather than having to go to a school or a church.
I mean, is that a question to the young people? Are you looking forward to being able to vote? Is it something that you're dreading, you're not looking forward to? Mitchell, are you looking forward to being able to vote? Have you voted yet?
No.
No? Would you like to vote though?
Yeah.
So what is it then? Why do people not vote at the minute? Should we make it compulsory? What are the questions? Alex, I haven't heard from you in a while. What are your ideas on this? You're just soaking it all up. I haven't forgotten about you. I still see you there.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking back to... people don't like politicians, which is why Boris Johnson's doing so well, I think. Is because he has this kind of familiar tinge. He's like not really behaving like a politician.
Right.
But I think we do better if we had politicians who actually wanted to help people instead of wanted to help themselves.
So we need more politicians for the people instead of trying to help themselves in their own power. Now I'm going to come to you and say, I'm going to come over here.
I think we should completely reform the schooling system, so you should only learn what you want to learn.
Right, so maybe, sort of tying in with Alex, for the people we need to reform the education system. Molly, do you think we need to change schools?
No, but yes at the same time.
Right.
Because it's important to keep the key aspects of school, like maths, English, science and grammar and everything.
Yeah. So what would you get rid of or change?
I mean, I don't know.
Do you get rid of languages? No more languages?
Yeah, more choices of languages. Like instead of just having Spanish and French, you can have Thailand or...
Nice, so we should be able to like Thai or Chinese. Luke, what do you think? Do you think we need more options in schools? Do we need to learn more stuff?
I definitely think there's been a kind of...
Let's get a final thought in a sec.
I've seen a shift in that recently, really, because there are a lot more tailored courses. It's kind of like the higher education level that's reaching, so universities are adapting a lot quicker than the actual schooling system.
So universities doing a bit better. Alex, before you go, Harvey as well, let's get... And Jesse, you're all leaving. What's going on? Let's get a final thought from you guys. You've been great.
Yeah, it's been really good.
You have to take the mic, you're very tall.
It's been really good listening to everyone's opinions. Thanks very much, especially the young people, and I hope that the future is much better.
No worries, thank you. Harvey, ideas, final thought. Go a bit closer, get involved. What are your final thought? It can be about anything, or what you're doing next, what we should talk about at the table.
Cats.
You want more cats in the table. And Jess, finally, final thought from yourself.
General strike. All the workers, all the children out together.
People, it's going back to that revolution. A round of applause for these guys. You've been great. Enjoy the rest of the festival. So going back to the revolution, we need a school revolution. Luke was saying universities are getting a bit more adapt, but schools are struggling a little bit, aren't they? Archie, what are your ideas?
I think a bit like it should be, so there's kind of a bit like universities, so there's a math school, science school, English school, and then you can have other things like a blacksmith school and a wood survival schools, and then a languages school
but
that
who
has
gets to choose where the children go to?
I'd say that you have to have a limit of about 5 subjects.
Right, okay.
A minimum of 5 subjects that you have to learn.
And what should those subjects be? What's the compulsory in school?
I don't think there should be a compulsory. You should learn what you want to learn.
You learn what you want. We need more choices,
and you get more choice,
options.
and it's more advanced in what you learn. So if someone becomes a scientist, they're not really gonna use French, are they?
Right, I don't know. Do scientists need to learn French? Do they need these subjects? I'm going to come over to Tom Fish. Been waiting a while, mate.
Well, essentially, education doesn't stop when you leave school. So if we take languages, in a language class, you're taught how to pass an exam, not how to speak a language.
Right.
To speak a language, you have to do a lot more outside learning. And when you learn a language, you don't use flashcards. You can go to the country and speak to people.
So even though we're teaching languages, we're not talking how to speak. We're just learning how to pass a test. Now I'm going to come to you, second, Archie. We've got a new face at the table. What's your name?
Dominic.
Dominic, lovely to meet you. At the minute, we're talking about lots of. And we've got a face at the back. What's your name? Pepsi. We're talking. Do we need more options in school? Have we just been taught to pass tests instead of what we need? Archie seems to think that we need to learn more stuff. I'm going to Archie and I'll come to Mikey.
I think we should adopt some of the European kind of schooling structures, like the German structures.
And how does the German structure work?
They have like primary school, and then you can go to grammar schools or comprehensive schools or like vocational schools where you do like technical subjects. And I just feel like that's a better option, because back like just after Tony Blair reformed the education system, there was a lot of more options like vocational courses and stuff, like stonemasonry, that kind of thing. But after, you know, that all collapsed and kind of Gordon Brown and David Cameron, that kind of thing, it just went back to this being mainly exam based, and I just feel like, you know, have like the option of doing vocational courses, because exams aren't out for everyone.
I think it's a really good point. Are we too focused on tests? Is it too academic at the moment? Do we need to get more practical? Mikey, what are your thoughts and ideas on this? I caught you when you were munching away. I thought I'd sneak attack you.
I think it should be project based, like school, rather than subject based. Like, get the kids to do a project they want to do, like build a spaceship, or
you want kids to start building more spaceships, or maybe more cables,
or robbing a bank or something like that, and then they will learn all the skills that they need for robbing a bank. Do you know what I mean? And if it's driven by that desire to achieve something, then it'll be much more fun than just learning it just for the sake of passing a test, as was mentioned earlier.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think school's working at the moment? Do you think we need to change it up, give more options? What's your name?
Stuart.
Stuart, what do you think, Stuart? Take the mic, you're quite tall as well. What are your ideas? Do you think we need to change the school system? Is it okay the way it is?
At the moment, my daughter's doing well at school, so I think school's going okay.
Working out. Did you enjoy school when you were at school?
No, I didn't. I left with O-level woodwork.
You left with woodwork?
All I wanted to just work with my hands.
But that's what Archie said. Archie says we need more vocational options. We need to get kids more involved, more hands-on. Did you agree with that?
I told you we had woodwork, metalwork, technical drawing at school, which is all hands and stuff. But now it's more electronics and things. But
stuff that's a bit more hands-on. I want to see. We've got Dave and Mitchell as well. What are your ideas on this, Dave? Do you think we we need more practical options? Is it all a bit academic now?
No.
No, we don't. We should keep it as it is, do you think?
No. Well, it's a very hard question to answer, particularly when you've had a number of pints. I think for schools, it's quite a broad spectrum of people that you're trying to teach, isn't it? And I think a lot of people, sorry, what was your name? Archie. I think Archie made a really good point that kids should be able to choose the things that they like.
Yeah.
But there's maybe a little bit of a twist to that, where there should be certain things that everybody gets as like a basis, like your maths, your English, your sciences, all of that sort of stuff, even a bit of the languages, and then there's plenty of time to choose whatever you want. And as you were saying earlier, there's plenty of time in your life. Every day is a school day. There's always time to learn something.
So maybe we need to focus on when we leave school, continuing the learning, carrying on if we lost the ability to learn.
I think I'll kind of expand on that. I think primary school should maybe have basic maths, English and all these subjects that it currently has, and then when you go into secondary school and university and beyond that, you should then be able to choose.
Well, Luke seems to think that universities are changing. We are getting a bit more at speed. We just need to get it down to secondary schools and colleges now.
Yeah, I guess I absolutely adore your passion, actually. I think it's really cool how you're wanting to kind of change the world. I'm liking that a lot. But my only problem is, so secondary school, when I turned 11, I was dead set on being a chef. That's the only thing I wanted.
Yeah.
I thought I'm going to be the best TV chef in the world. I'm going to go out, I'm going to cook all ready, steady cook of the lot.
And how does that pan out for you? Do you still want to be a chef? Is that burning passion still there?
Not at all, actually, no.
So maybe the problem is, we're talking about school at the moment. Should we have more options? Should people
I've tasted Luke's lasagna, and to be honest, I'm quite glad that he did change it. I think the point is, there's structure for a reason, because there's spontaneous stuff you do in school. You realise, I didn't know I like that, and I do. But choice is really important. So I think it's good that kind of maybe around year 7, 8, you get everything that you do. What I would say, GCSE English language is currently compulsory. GCSE English literature is not. I would flip that, because English language is contrived, artificial, boring. To be honest, literature is expressive, interesting, and often is the one that people do better at as well in general, when it's something that can express themselves and not feel like they're learning for an exam. So by the time you guys get up to GCSE, I'd love to see that flipped round, where English language was A-level English language becomes really exciting and more like linguistics, but literature at GCSE I think has the edge in terms of being more.
Well, let's see, Dominic, what are your thoughts on this? You soaking it all up, you're getting the information, spread some knowledge.
Personally, I think, like, as kids, like as Archie was saying, I slightly agree with him, like, because the passion, like, you want to carry on the subjects you have in maths, but they are compulsory maths and English and science, because if you didn't learn English, it's like reading age, you wouldn't be able to do the same things as like adults these days.
But we were saying earlier, Jess was at the table saying that apparently 20% of the nation don't know how to read or write at the moment. So is that something we need to put some more? I don't know. This is what Talkaoke's been all about.
She said it was they couldn't use the internet.
Maybe it's 20% can't use the internet. Maybe I'm wrong on this one as well. It was a late night last night, so I'm still getting to grips a little bit more. Mike has given me a thumbs up, so I'm hoping it's going well. Go for it.
I want to hear what happened last night, Will.
No, I'm not just a man with a microphone. I'm not here to tell my story. I'm going to flip it over to how we can talk about how your nights were. Hepsy, what are your ideas back there? How was your night? Do you enjoy school at the moment? Come get involved, bring your chair over, come sit at the table, we can make room for you. We can spread over, we'll get Molly and Luke to budge up a little bit there. We can get you in next to Mitchell and between Molly. It's going to be happy days. I can still see you there, buddy. What are your ideas, Hepsy? What are your thoughts?
I think in school, for lessons, people should be shown papers before they get them.
Right, so you should see the exam papers before they're tested on them.
Yeah, but not like you need a space to look over it.
Right, so we need a little bit of extra time to read the papers, to soak up the question and understand. Archie, ideas?
I have a kind of experience like that, because I did my GCSE chemistry exam and the computer system went off. My computer crashed halfway through, so I had to stop my exam, but I had to stay where I was, and I just looked. I'd already seen half the paper.
Right.
But I was there for like half an hour, and then I restarted my exam, and it helped. It didn't help at all.
Right, so maybe it doesn't
because
help
once
some
you're in the
people.
exam, the only knowledge that you have is the knowledge that you've already revised. You can't.
Yeah, now I'm going to come to that. We've got some new faces. I know you were earlier, but just introduce yourself to everyone again.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Eve.
Eve.
Rose. Lily.
Lily. We've got Aidan, we've got Archie, we've got Callum, we've got Dominic, we've got Archie, we've got Luke, we've got Molly, we've got Hepsy, we've got Mitchell, we've got Dave, we've got Mikey, we've got Tom. That was the one. Yeah, we're getting there. All right, cool stuff.
I'll tell you what is completely absurd, right? Who else agrees with this? That there is a time limit in an exam. Why are we being assessed on the speed we can write when we should be being tested about something like relevant to the cause? Give us like a couple of essays to write in a 3-hour window, so there's enough time. Because
you know, get rid of it then.
Somebody might say, oh, but people just write too much. No, because that's then a bad answer if you're not concise. You should be able to have more time than you need to produce your answer that would then be marked. I think having a time limit is just unfair and just absurd.
Let's put it to the table then. Do you think we should get rid of time limits on exams? Should you just be able to sit there all week and sleep in the exam room and write what you want?
I agree with that, but it shouldn't be an all-day exam.
It shouldn't be an all-day. So there needs to be a time limit, maybe a bit longer. How long should we make exams then? What are the ideas? I'm going to come over here to... Remind me your name. No, it's not Callum. Charlie. I knew it began with a C somewhere like that. Yeah.
I think we should have quite a lot of. I think we should have quite a lot of time, but we should still have a max time limit, but like maybe 6 hours.
Right, you have 6 hours on an exam.
You get to choose if you take the time. Like you get to choose how much time you want as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna come join it. I'm gonna shoot to Molly first.
So you should be able to take the exam home with you.
Right.
And you can tell your parents, I have to do an exam.
So should we be able to take the exams home with us? And look, Dominic, what are your ideas on this?
Personally, I think that's like a horrible idea.
What, do you have to take it home?
Yeah, because there is kids, like you say, oh, the kids can tell their parents, but they won't.
Right.
Simply, it's the simple answer. They won't tell their parents.
So they just won't do the exam?
There is some kids, like there's kids that don't want to learn anything. They just want to get through with school, and they'll work in Asda for the rest of their life.
Right, maybe that's what they want to do. But like I'd say, maybe if there's more hands-on experience. Right, Eve. Yeah, I got it right. Happy days. All right, I'm getting there.
I don't think you should be able to take them home because you could cheat by like looking it up.
So if we give people more options and more time to take it home, they're just going to start cheating as well.